Yo, yo, yo. I'm actually live. That's the question. I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Let me just double check on here. You are live. Excellent. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I live, I do indeed. Hello. I'll just kick straight in. Hello! Welcome back. Welcome to Hellstormwargaming. Apologies, I'm late, chat. I've been like trying to upload pictures off my phone for today's stream. And then I think because I did that, it was like eating all my bandwidth for some reason. I don't know why. So that was great. Love that. So hello, welcome to Hellstormwargaming. Welcome to this live stream. Apologies for being late. My name is Mikey, and today we have an exciting segment because we are going to be going over and breaking down all of the new rules that were shown off by Games Workshop on the live stream on Monday. Obviously, we watched one of the live streams on Monday. We watched game 2 of 3, which was brutal. I won't lie, it was brutal. But we are going to be watching it, and not watching it today. We watched it the other day, so today we're going to look at the rules that we have, all of the rules that we've had confirmed, especially the ones where they showed us screenshots, and I'm going to break them down for you and show you what the difference is and what you're going to have to watch out for as a player in the world of 11th edition. So welcome. The GW level stream of professional we expect from you. Right, okay, cool. Cool, love that. What, you can see me and hear me? That's crazy. That is crazy. What can I say? So hello. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Have you managed to cool down yet, chat? It's nice and it's cooler today. It's like 17 degrees today. So I have the window open and the fan on, and it's very nice. It's very pleasant. It's like a nice little breeze. What's it like with you today? Have you managed to not melt in the world's hottest spring? If you haven't, I'm glad you made it. I just need to tell the Discord that I've gone live. I'm finally live. Come here if you are concerned about the new 11th edition rules. I'm gonna show you what they mean. Also come here if you want to moan about how bad 11th edition is, cause negativity sells better. There's the stream today. There we go. That's what we're doing today. But yeah, yesterday was fucking brutal, chat. It was fucking horrible. It's been bloody horrible yesterday. But it managed to cool down at like, I want to say like 9 o'clock or something last night. It managed to cool down in Sheffield. It's quite nice. I went to the Outpost last night. Shout out to the Outpost. You know what's great about the Outpost? Air conditioning. Holy shit, I was having a wonderful time. So I play Gundam every Tuesday. I run the local Gundam event every Tuesday night. So I went down. It was like a smaller group than normal. Which is obviously a bit disappointing, but with it being so hot, I was kind of like, yeah, I was like surprised that anyone turned up, but we still had enough to run a fairly decent event, which was cool. So I came second last. We played some chill decks rather than sweaty decks because we'd done enough sweating. You are the local Gundam. I am the local Gundam, yeah. I'm literally, that is me. I'm the local new type. That's what we should say. I'm the local new type, so I run all the local Gundam events at the Outpost. I also run the competitive comp club every Thursday. Not like your own tournaments where you enter them to win. I have won them a few times, but yeah, I run them, but like no one else runs them, so I can't really play Gundam otherwise if I don't play them in myself. So, but yeah, I like organize it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, but yes, I did try to win, but I took a casual deck because we all took fairly casual decks. Well, I took like a middling deck last night rather than like a super strong deck. Because I didn't want to be an absolute twat with it, basically. Mikey Thanos in Gundam seed into existence. Literally, that's what I did. That was literally me. Chat, did you see my announcement yesterday as well? Did you see my announcement? If you didn't know, I'll be at UK Games Expo this weekend. If you didn't know, here's me. Here's my very professional template because they didn't send me one. Hilarious. They didn't send me a template. So if you are about at the UK Games Expo this weekend, come and say hello. Come and say hi. Myself and Georgie will be there all 3 days. Mr. Lambo Paints will be joining me on the Friday. And Elliot and Big C will be joining me on Saturday. So, and then Sunday it's just me and Georgie. Just me and Georgie. So it should be fun. Should be good. Should be a good time. I'm excited for it. If you are a brand or business that you just so happens to watch me live as well, let me know where you are and I'll come chat to you. I've got some cool stuff I'm working on, and I think you might be interested. I think you might be very interested if you are a brand looking for an opportunity. So come down, say hi, say hello. That's it. All right. What else happened? Oh, I finally achieved my greatest goal last night. I beat the Dredgelord on Night Rain. There you go. There's my update for you. I beat the Dredgelord on Night Rain finally. I finally finished Night Rain DLC. It's only been out 5 months. I've not played it since December. Went on it last night and I beat it straight away. There's my other achievement. And I bought some Pokemon cards, Chuck. And I'm falling down many holes. I'm falling down many holes. Look at the pile of Pokemon cards I left with last night. I do sincerely miss the hastily done MS Paint on Photoshop. Truly dying art. Big fan. I know it is. No one does it anymore. Everyone's trying to be like super professional all the time. And I think people need to realize that you can have a laugh and be professional. You know? Look at this card I got. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. This is like a 30 quid card, chat. What do you reckon? Do you think I'll get PSA 10? What do you think to the centering? What do you think to the centering looks fucked, let's be honest. Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX from a player promo pack with Erasure Ball. There we go. I'll be demoing at UK Games Expo weekend. What are you demoing, Ravel? How much you spend on it? So I used my reload credit. So it was technically £15, but realistically free because it cost me 0 pennies in person. I traded in some old Warhammer a few weeks ago, so I have like lots of credit at the Outpost. So I just keep spending it on dumb shit like cards. But I got one pack which was just Gudras, but one's hollow and one's reverse hollow. Can you see? Like one's got a shiny picture, then one's got a shiny border. And I was told they might be worth something, the shiny border one. But then I look and it's like Pokemon cards, unless they're like fucking 20 years old, they're worth like £2. And people are like, holy shit, you got a good pull. They're like, holy shit, bro, you got such a good pull there. Reminds me I need to reload the Outpost and train some 4K armies. If you are using Outpost Reload, which is their trading service, if you quote Hellstorm when you are trading in, you'll get extra credit. So I get a little kickback and you get a little bit extra. So it's literally free. Just say, oh, and Hellstorm sent me, and that'll be it. So what's this song, bro? Cool. So, the other night, Games Workshop decided in all of their wisdom to live stream 3 different tournament games on Warhammer, the YouTube channel, the Warhammer channel. And they showed off quite a lot of rules. And I think a lot of these rules have caused a little bit of hubbub. Okay, and a little bit of confusion, or even just people don't quite get it just yet. I'm gonna be breaking down all of the rules that they showed off on stream and all of the rules that they talked about as well, with examples. That's what I was planning on doing today. I might make it into a separate video. I'm not sure yet, But yeah, so basically, I've got a bunch of screenshots of rules. If there's any rules that I've not gone over that you've actually got a screenshot of, feel free to post them right now in the latest video chat. And even if you've got some screenshots, for example, something like this, if you've got them, please post them in the latest video chat on the Discord right now, because if there's any I'm missing, it'll be super helpful to have them available, ready for the stream. So yeah. So we're going to go over all of the different rules changes, and I'm going to like try and break them down for you, because I think some of them make a lot of sense, and then you kind of look into it and go, oh shit, that's actually way deeper than I realized. And some of them make no sense, and then when explained, they actually make a lot more sense, and they're a lot easier to break down. However, I'm going to be making physical examples as we go. I've not preset these. I'm going to be making them as we go. So there's going to be a little bit of photoshopping time. All right, so that's the plan. Is that okay with everybody? Is that all right for today's stream? Is the volume okay? Can you hear me okay before we start? It's going to be a lesson. Today's a lesson. That's the thing. Main rule you have missed: GW streams always to be shy and have some sort of problem. I mean, I literally watched the live stream where there was no video twice, bro. MS Paint Skills. No, it's gonna be real Photoshop today, I'm afraid. Actual good Photoshop. So I just want to let you know, if you'd like to support the channel today, you can do with a subscription. You can subscribe for free. That helps me out, makes my numbers bigger. It means more companies might like to work with me. And it feeds my ego, and the more ego I have, the more fueled I am to make videos. You can also support the channel by becoming a member if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member if you haven't already. By becoming a member, you get green name, you get emotes, you get full access to the Discord, and you will be entered in to win an 11th edition box set. If you'd like to win an 11th edition box set, you can support the channel with a super chat, a resub from DOWAG. Thank you for the 60 months, DOWAG. Appreciate it. What a legend. You can also super chat. You can also tip. Especially with tip, or there's a link in the description. You can also, thank you for the 60 months, DOWAG. Appreciate you. You can also resub just like DOWAG has, and you can also gift memberships and let other people become members for 30 days. If you do that, they become members, and you get one for every membership you gift. I've got a list here, 121 people so far, of all the people who super chatted and donated during this month, and they are entering the May 11th edition box set Royal Rumble. So basically, they're going to be in with a chance to win a free 11th edition box set shipped anywhere in the world, no cost to you, barring import taxes maybe. That's probably about it. I'm not going to charge you shipping. I'm going to charge you for the box. I'm going to send you a free box. All right. All you have to do is support the channel. So we appreciate it, and thank you. And let's get into the first lesson. So the first one, I think a lot of people might have seen or noticed, is the rotating, all currently known as pivot. So this is actually quite a fundamental change, and if you haven't seen this, I'm going to try and break it down for you. And they kind of break it down fairly understandably, but I'm going to try and show you the consequences of this sort of change. So it says, this is an example of rotating. And I should say, before I go on with the lesson, because I am a teacher, by the way, I'm teaching you. I don't have full access to the rules, so I'm going off the screenshots and how I understand them. There might be more given context that actually changes this, but I highly doubt it. Usually the examples are pretty good. So, as you can see, we've got a rhino that's moving from A to B to C. We're moving A, twisting, going to C, twisting again. And it says this model can move a maximum distance of 12 inches. Don't know why my zoom's not working properly. Love that. It can move a maximum of 12 inches in a straight line, rotates, moves 6 inches in a straight line, rotates. This model has moved a total of 12. It can move a series of straight lines and rotations as follows. Models without a base are rotated around the central axis. So, this obviously isn't like a super crazy, hard to understand concept, you know. What we're saying is in compared to 10th edition, 11th edition has no pivot value. There is nothing, there's no such thing as a pivot. Okay? So currently pivot, if you would like to twist just like this rhino is, you would have to spend 2 inches of movement to be able to twist during the movement. Yo, Dr. Fun Ricky, thanks for the £5 super chat. Appreciate it, man. Let me add you to the giveaway list, Dr. Fun Ricky. Appreciate it, man. That's very kind of you. That's very, very kind. Let me see if I can get a good example. We used to be able to have good examples, but then they were like 3D printing's cringe, so no more good examples. Yeah, this is where I kind of want TTS, really. Yeah, they used to have 360 of every model, and now they just don't. Fucking brilliant. Fucking love it. Right, we're going to have to do some abstract then. We're going to have to do some abstract shit. So, for example, with pivot. Alright, with pivot. Here's our map. Here's our terrain map. This is 11th edition terrain as shown by GW. Ignore the measurements on screen because they are wrong. Okay. And then here's a ghost arc that we're going to move the background so you don't have all this white shit of it. Okay, here's a ghost arc. And we're going to make this to scale-ish. Right, okay. It's about 9 inches long. So if we go there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a bit long. So let's say we've got a ghost arc here, for example. So this is our ghost arc on the piece on the terrain, and it's hiding. It's pretty good. Okay, ghost arc's not the greatest example because obviously, like, the reason that this will be strong is because of the movement shenanigans for combat units getting out of it, but the ghost arc's the most egregious one. Now, the reason we have pivot, okay, the reason we have pivot is because long vehicles can gain a lot of movement by spinning, all right? So, if this unit was to move 10 inches, okay, annoyingly I've used a diagonal board, so I'm going to have to just guesstimate what 10 inches is, okay? If we move 10 inches in a straight line, okay, we're going to move to somewhere around that. We're going to move in a straight line 10 inches, okay? And we're just flying over because we got fly. These are too low, so we can just move in a straight line, okay? We can move all the way up to here, all right? Now, what pivot does is if you wanted to rotate your ghost arc, as you can see, even though I know we're like upside down or whatever, by pivoting, we actually gain movement because we were here, you know, this is how far over we were. And then we actually go all the way over here. Now, the reason that we have pivot, that would cost 2 inches, by the way. So just for example, if we move 10 and go to there, you know, that's pretty good movement. If we pivot first, we can move 8, all right? So we can move 8 inches rather than that 9 that we did. And it's going to be about there instead. So what the pivot is intended to do is to not allow this front bow, even though when we pivot, we actually essentially move 2.5 inches with the end. So from the range. So if we just go back, you know, when we do this, we're actually gaining about 2.5 inches of movement because the bow is so long away from the middle of the base. So when we spin from the middle, we actually gain 2.5 inches of movement. What the pivot is allowing it to do is allowing it to still move, but when we spin, it actually costs movement. And the reason for that is so when you spin for free, you don't just still move 10 and end up further over. That's the reason that's why we have pivot. Imagine this is a doomsday arc. With pivot, it can only get to here. So its line of sight is like down this angle. Now without pivot, we were actually over here. Now we can see through this terrain piece. That's kind of like how crucial like this pivoting value is. And I'm going to flip this because it's fucking annoying me. There you go. That's better. It's just annoying me that it's upside down. The reason that we have pivot, okay, is I get the distinct impression that Mikey's doing Professor Hellstorm's job. He's dead. He died. The reason that we have pivot is, let's say, right, we have another unit. Chat, give me another unit. I just need one random unit. Give me a random model. One random model, chat. I'll let you decide. An amble. All right, Nick, go fuck yourself. All right. Fine. I'll feed it. I'll feed the meme. Let's say we have an amble. All right. Okay. Let's say we have an amble. About 40 mil, so we're going to make the base about 2 inches. We have an amble. All right. And we deep strike 9 inches away. Again, not to scale, but let's just say there's an amble here, okay? And the Ghost Ark is wanting to charge the Amble. And we've just deep struck. And the distance between is 9 inches. All right. So the distance between is 9 inches. So if we charge, we're going to have to roll a 9. Okay. And I can't draw on here. Never mind. We're going to have to roll a 9. Because we need to charge. Now, the thing is with it is actually when you were charging with things like this, where they're so far over the base, we could pivot before the move because pivoting was free. And now the distance between the hull and the amble is actually not 9, it's more like 6.5 because, like I said, when you pivot in this instance, you actually gain 2.5 inches of distance between the models. So what was happening is units like wave serpents, raiders, for example, anything that was like kind of like really overhanging the base that didn't pay for pivot, or didn't have a pivot value, for example, because pivot wasn't a thing. What was happening was you could actually deep strike 9 inches away, so there's a 9-inch gap, and then when you charge, you go, right, I've rolled a 6, and they go, oh, you failed, and you go, well, actually, when I pivot for free, I'm actually within 7 inches, so if I charge 6, I end up within half an inch. Or like within an inch, which was important. That's the reason that we have pivot. Another reason is the fact that you can just gain that free movement by movement. Like we've said, for example, is a Ghost Ark can get a lot further over, or Doomsday Ark can get a lot further over by pivoting first. Now, what they've actually done is they've now gone in 11th edition is that when you deep strike, you have to roll and make the distance on the dice, okay? So before the movement starts, you would have to measure and go 9 inches, right, okay, I need to, or 8 inches, or over 8 inches, I need to roll 9 inches before the move. So they've actually, by doing that, by adding this new charge rule of measure the distance, roll the dice, then measure the distance before moving, what they've actually done is completely neutered the pivot need in the charge phase, okay? So if we deep strike and we're over 8 inches away, because we're over 8 inches in 11th edition, we need to roll 9 inches before any movement's made. Whereas in 10th edition, it was roll the dice, then check if you can make it, you know? Because obviously we go, select the target, roll the charge dice, see if we make it. Now it's roll the charge dice, see what's within range, then move, you know? So by changing the order, they've actually killed the actual need for pivot during the charge phase, because that's the reason we had pivot, is so you couldn't spin and get free charge range. Or one of the reasons, should I say. So that is actually a really good change for rotating. However, in shooting, because you can pivot for free, you're still going to be able to move quite far. So, whilst it's fixed the charge phase shenanigans, which I think is a good change, obviously, I don't mind that, I'm pretty happy with it. The actual movement-wise, pivot is actually, without having pivot, units that are quite long and hang over the base quite a lot are quite fast. They're going to feel quite fast, because we're going to be able to move like that, and then we're going to move our 10, you know? Rather than going, I'm going to move 8, then pivot, you know? So it's something to be aware of. I think it's going to be actually quite strong. And it's, like I said, it's going to make your units feel a lot faster in the movement phase, but feel quite normal in the charge phase. So, like I'm saying, I think it's making longer vehicles stronger. I actually quite like the rule. I think the rule's quite good. I don't hate it. I haven't played it yet. I don't have the rules to look at to be able to try it out before you guys right now. But I quite like it. I won't lie. I think it's quite good. So yeah, so that's the overall big change to pivot. In the charge phase, it's much better. We don't need pivot values now. In the movement phase, without pivot values, everything feels really fast. Basically, that's what we're going to feel like. Bikes and cavalry are going to be a bit faster. Yeah, bikes and cavalry are definitely ones that are going to benefit quite a lot, because if we have like outriders, for example. Can I get a top down of an outrider, please? Obviously not the strongest unit in the game, don't get me wrong, but you know. We have an we can't. We just can't get top downs anymore. I love that we used to be able to get top downs of everything. Now we just can't. I just absolutely love that. So this example, if we have an outrider, you know, which previously pivoted 1. It previously pivoted 1, so if it had a 12-inch move, it'd pivot 1 like this, and then move 11. Let's move it, you know, I'm going to move it sideways, so I can actually measure it. We're going to move 11, so it'd end up about here. Literally about there. That's how far we'd be able to get with an outrider. Now, without the pivot value being needed, you know, we can actually spin on the spot. And then, don't forget, we measure it from this point as well. So if we went from here, if we moved just 12, we'd end up here. But now we can just spin and get our nose over much further. And then we can move a whole 12. We can actually get quite far in. And then after that, we can actually pivot again. So you can actually like almost fully put ourselves on the terrain. Obviously, this isn't to scale. But in this example, rather than just going, okay, we can just move with the pivot. Let's try it again. We had pivot at value 1, right? So we pivot 1. That spends 1. And then we can move 11. So that's the furthest you can go. You know? And then you can pivot. So you're actually not in the terrain. Now you can pivot, move an extra inch. And actually end up here. Everyone will be parking sideways again in Turkey drift and so on. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. So things at movement phase are going to feel a lot faster. It's a lot simple as well. And people don't seem to like... I think a lot of like casual players don't seem to like pivot at all. They think it's stupid. Whereas actually like pivot is like... It's kind of like a bit of an ungracious way, but definitely a way that fixes like things that are like quite long. I think it's quite a good rule, to be honest. So I liked it, but now they've got rid of it and they don't need it during the charge phase because they've changed how the charge phase works. So there's your lesson on rotate, or previously known as pivot. Just making sure there's no questions. I missed second edition movement rules. Clunky perhaps, but stop stupid crap like this. Well, I mean, I imagine it didn't. You just didn't do it back then. That's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I miss XYZ rules because this never happened. And I think the difference is between rules now and rules then. You didn't like put the thought process into how can I, because it wasn't like such like a competitive mindset and it was like narrative focus. So you do stuff for the story. You can still do that now, don't get me wrong. And when you're playing like that, you're not going to be doing what I'm showing you. But what I'm showing you is how the rule is not intended, but how the rule is used to its full potential, you know? I think pivot suffered from being dropped in that massive FAQ that gave a lot of casual players a real feels bad at the time. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I guess people won't need to start pivoting because they'll be hidden. No. Because hidden, you have to be in terrain for a start. So if you're in terrain, you can be hidden. But then if you are in terrain, you are probably closer to the enemy. So then they can just shoot you, you know. I kind of did this example the other day, which you'll have missed. But I was talking about like a riptide, you know. And we would talk about the riptide that can scout, you know, for example. Let's put a riptide on the board. Also, how's my diagram chat? Is it working? Does it look alright? Riptide's about 5 inches long, I want to say. Something like that. Riptide starts here. Warhammer players hate reading, so I get why they did not like the update. How far has Riptide moved? 8, 10? It scouts 6. Right, so it's behind here. Pivots for free. Alright. And then it moves 10. I'm going to just like fucking... We're just going to go 3 down, 7 across. You know? And then pivot again. You know? There's our Riptide, for example. Thing is with hidden, right? And I kind of said this on the stream the other day, like I said. Now the Riptide movement's not to scale, but the range can be, because this is a 60 by 40 board. Hidden's 15 inch, right? There's a 15-inch line. Let's make it red. Let's make it yellow. Let's make it blue. Let's make it green. Bright green. There we go. So the thing is with hidden is that, like, if I start in this terrain piece because I want to be hidden, that Riptide could probably reach. You know? Plus line of sight, you can't shoot through the wall. Matt Riley, these walls are not tall enough that it can't shoot. It can't not shoot through these walls. Like on Games Workshop's own stream, they showed off that the Riptide is way taller than these ruins. Do I have a screenshot still? The Riptide could 100% shoot through this, by the way. We'll get onto terrain shortly, but yeah. The Riptide could 100p shoot through these gaps. I don't have the angle of it, but I showed it on stream. I think they said that terrain between you and the target will give benefit of cover, but won't line of sight block. Yeah, literally. So for like hidden, if you are in any terrain piece, okay, the Riptide can't reach you up here, but it can see into this one quite convincingly. He can't see through it, but if you're in it to try and get hidden, then he can see you. You know, you can see over here. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, this is turn 1, and you're like, well, don't forget about hidden. I've just bonked a Riptide into the middle of the board. Obviously, again, not to scale, but let's say the base was this orientation. You know, let's say every unit on the board's hidden. Like this is where the Riptide could reach. You know, if it's a single point on the board. You know what I mean? If you pull up that stream, will you be trying to level position if they're demoing it? Probably. If they're demoing it, I'll definitely try and play it. I'm not sure if they are though. They haven't really said anything. Let me try and find a section where it actually shows it, because the Riptide basically tiptoes the middle of the board all game. I'm going to be doubling up on this though, so I didn't really want to speak about this just yet, but so as you can see with these ruins, right? Yo, Ginger Steve, thanks for the 5, dude.
99 pence. MS Paint Mikey is peak Mikey. Well, maybe Cat Girl Mikey is better than this, but it made McGrew have somewhat uncomfortable feelings.
Thank you so much for the 5, Ginger Steve. Really appreciate it. What a legend. Yeah, Cat Girl Mikey's long gone, I'm afraid. Long gone. Never again. Was not worth it. I did that stream, Cat Girl Mikey. I was like, this will get the super chats in. I made £8 before fees. I made basically a £5. Never again. So yeah, so for example, talk about the ruin height and talk shooting through walls and stuff. You can't shoot through lower levels, but this Riptide is as tall as this building, and this building has holes in the top. So touching this piece of terrain, you can actually see through this ruin. Can't see into this corner. You can see straight through it, you know, because of how perspective works. When he can see through here, he can start to see the floor over here. You know what I mean? I could do with Epic Pen Open, to be honest. The plus side is we know how much a dignity cost. It wasn't worth it, so it costs a lot more than that. So, like, if the Riptide stood here, for example, you know, it can see through this section of the wall because it's got windows. So even though he can't see here, but he can see, you know, straight past there and straight past there. You know, that's how sight works. So anyway. That's your explanation of hidden, chat. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed hidden. But I wasn't planning on doing hidden yet. That was to do with pivot. That's pivot for everybody. So pivot, extremely strong, basically. That's what we're saying. The lack of pivot makes things move very fucking quick. Can't go Mikey costs more than £8. A large meal at McDonald's does net too now. True. That's inflation for you, mate. That's inflation for you. Anyway, Steve, I'll put you down for a free 11th edition box set. I'm sure you'll have plenty coming out of your ears, but what's one more? All right, chat. That's pivoting, rotating, previously known as pivot. Now we have the confusing one. And this one did confuse me as well until I kind of sat down and tried to understand it. And then it made so much more sense. I mean, you're going to get people modeling for advantage shoot over walls. You don't need to. The Riptide is 6.5. It's like 7 or 8 inches tall. And all the ruins are barely 5. Maybe like 6. You know? Again, if you didn't see my stream where I kind of reacted to it, I appreciate it's a long stream. So if you didn't watch it, I understand it's 4 hours long. But basically, the ruins aren't tall enough or wide enough on these terrain pieces, on the terrain footprints. So it's going to be a huge problem. I think Games Workshop are probably going to try and find a band-aid very quickly. Let's build the example here then. Let's build the example. We got mixed saves, right? Let's have... where's my tab gone? I'm going to close it. I did. Oh, I didn't. It's there. G doing bad terrain? Yeah, literally. Let's have a very, very basic example of how mixed saves works, right, in allocation or saving throws. Because I think people are getting confused and getting worried, but it's actually so much simpler than you realize. Let's have a unit of intercessors. And then let's have everyone's favorite. Everybody's favorite. Can the... Is this a daft question? Can the lieutenant with storm shield attach to a unit attach to intercessors? Yo, Papaya Pariah, thank you so much for the gifted membership, dude. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the gifted. That's very kind of you. That's basically as much as I made for being a cat girl that one time, so appreciate it, man. Can these two attach? You know, I'm not going to use this guy. I'm going to use someone else. Let's use someone else for our example. Lieutenant with combi weapon. Oh, he's got power sword even. Sorry, I lied.
Mikey! Super chat £5. Don't worry about the new saves. Just roll all 6s.
That's so true, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat and the gift of membership. Let's just make this darker so we can see more. Not that dark. There we go. We can see a bit more now. Let me quickly add these two to the giveaway list. I've lost it. I've lost it. Papaya. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate you. So attacking attached units with allocation groups. All right. It sounds really confusing, and this isn't great quality either, so it's kind of hard to read. But I'm going to try and explain how like attacking a mixed save unit works now. Essentially, like allocating saves, right? So we've got a unit. All right. God damn it. We got a unit. And let's say, all right, this is a fairly standard unit. We have a unit of 10 intercessors. We have a lieutenant with power sword. And we have a captain, all attached to the same unit, all right? The reason we're doing it this way is because we have multiple saves, all right? You could do it with you could do it with one, but I wanted to allocate it in a way that had multiple saves. So let's say these have a 3 up. Let's try that again. Let's say these guys, all right, have a 3+ armor save. Okay. The lieutenant has a relic. An enhancement. He has the armor vehement. That's sure, the gladius one. He has a 2+ save. Okay. And then the captain has a 4+ invuln. So a 4 plus plus plus. No, a 4 plus plus and a 3 plus. Okay. So you've got 3 plus armor save and a 4 plus invuln. Alright, the way the allocation works now is rather than rolling, because normally if you're rolling this out, right, you're getting shot by a bunch of heavy bolters, sure. Why not? You're getting shot by a bunch of heavy bolters. You'd go, right, okay, I'm going to roll all my saves for all my intercessors until all the intercessors are dead, right? Until all the intercessors are dead. Then I'm going to allocate it to one of the characters. And then I'm probably going to go onto the lieutenant, let's be honest. Excuse me. But the lieutenant only has 4 wounds. So I'm going to have to roll until he's got 2 wounds left. And then 0. Okay? And then it's going to move on to him. That's how wound allocation works right now. Does all that make sense? You'd roll for all your intercessors until there's none left. Then you'd have to split off your dice. So you're going to be rolling less than 10 or less initially. 10 saves. And then you're going to move on to the lieutenant. And then you're going to move on to the captain. Okay? That's how it works. And you have to slow roll this. The reason you have to slow roll is because you have different saves. So you don't want to roll them all together, because what if you run out before you get to the lieutenant, you know? You roll 11 3-ups. All right, let's say you roll 11 3 plus. Okay. 11 3 plus saves. I don't know why I put a plus there. Ignore that. 11 plus saves. Okay. So you got 11. We'll take the first 10. So minus 10. That kills this unit. All right. And then we have 1 remaining. It's maths. 1 remaining. And then that would be applied here. But because we fast rolled it, we don't know if there's any, like... If we roll all perfectly 3s, it'd actually make a lot of sense. But you don't know if, oh, we actually made a 4 here, or we made a 5 here. Where do we apply that? Do we apply that to this unit, or do we apply it to this unit? You know? Just remove all the complexity and roll toilet dice. Yeah, exactly. There's actually so much less complexity when I explain it. So what you're actually going to do now, okay? Let's just confirm. We got a 2 plus here, and we got a 3 plus 4 plus. What you're gonna do now? It's gonna make more sense when you have like actual models on the board and dice. Okay, I'm gonna try and explain it best I can. When you are allocated the wounds, you are given dice. Okay, you are given 15 saves to make. Right? Okay, 15 saves. Now, chat, let's make it interactive. Okay, chat. I've got 15 saves. Now, tell me in chat. 15 dice rolls, all right? What did you roll? Everyone roll the dice at home, or just say a random number between 1 and 6. Roll all those dice right now and tell me them, and I'll write them down, okay? Whilst I explain what's happening, just spam a number between 1 and 6. Just 1, not 3. So, like I said before, what you do is you take the 10 saves and then roll them, and then you go, okay, do I have any intercessors left? I've got 3 left. Right, I'm going to roll another 3. All right, I've got 1 left. I'm going to roll another 1. Okay. And then you move on to the characters. So you'd have to roll 10, then however many intercessors you got left, then however many intercessors you got left. That makes more sense, right? So if you'd roll 10, and then you go, okay, I lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to roll another 5, and then I'm going to lose 3 more. Slow rolling. Okay. So you got to kind of like slow roll it out. That makes more sense. This is a much easier way to explain it. So let's say we've been given a bunch of wounds, okay? What we're going to do is going to split these into save groups, okay? So we've got a 3 plus save here, a 2 plus here, and then we've got 3 plus 4 plus here. Now, we can't choose the characters first, so our decision is already made, but we're going to allocate this as group 1, group 2, because he's got a better armor save, and then group 3. Okay, I don't know why my pen's gone really thick. I'm just going to rewrite that. Thin even. So, group 1. God damn it. Group 2. Group 3. Okay, so TTS is cringe. So, what we're going to do is we're going to allocate a group number before we roll any dice. Okay, so then we're going to have all our dice. We're going to roll them, write them out in order. Okay. we're probably going to lose the whole unit here. But like, for example, we've got a 5. Why does it keep doing? Oh, the scroll is changing the size of the pen. That's why. So we've got a 5. These are our save rolls. Do I need to label this, or can we all understand? A 1, a 3, a 4, a 2, a 4, a 6, a 4, a 7. Nice. Love that. Love that for you, mate. God, we had to roll so many saves. This is a really horrible unit. We got a 5. I should have wrote these in a different color. A 1, a 1, a 2, a 1, a 4, a 5, and a 3. Sweet. They're our save rolls. And then a 2. Great. Okay, this is what we've rolled to save. Okay. So what we're going to do first, okay, is because we've allocated this to group 1. I mean, a Z. Where's the Z? Oh, you're on about this. Don't you about that. Because we've allocated this to group 1, what we're going to do, I don't think we've rolled enough saves, to be honest. We're going to have to roll them again. What we're going to do is actually allocate this to group 1. Okay, so this is all our saves. Right, we've got a 1. Right, cool. That's 1 intercessor dead. And then it's minus 1 AP. So we're looking for 4 ups. Right, we've got a 3 there. That's another intercessor dead. A 2, that's another intercessor dead. A 4, fine. A 1 passes. 1 fails, sorry, that kills an intercessor. A 1 kills an intercessor. A 2 kills an intercessor. A 1 kills an intercessor. A 3 kills an intercessor. A 2 kills an intercessor. How did we roll? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So already, we didn't have to slow roll, because before we'd have to roll 10 dice, and then however many's left, roll that many, then however many's left, roll that many. We managed to be able to roll it all together because we were allocating it all to group 1 first, all right? We did manage to save them all, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually make it AP3. That's a great idea. So let's make it AP3 now. So it's minus AP minus 3, all right? So 1 kills 1. 1 kills 1. The 3 kills 1. The 4 kills 1. The 2 kills 1. This 4 kills 1. The 6 kills 1. The 4 kills 1. The 5 kills 1. The 1 and the 1 kills the last one. And we're already kind of moving over. And now this guy's going to take number 1. Okay. So he takes the first one. And then he takes the second one and he's dead. All right. That's how like you'd have to roll it out like that. This isn't a great way to do it, okay? But for example, if we were to optimize this, let's do it properly, okay? Now what we can do is, because we're rolling all together, we can choose which ones get allocated first, you know? We can choose which one allocates first. So what we're going to do is going to go for all the lowest numbers. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go for 2, so that's the next lowest one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we're going to go for 3s. We got 2 3s. That kills 2 more. Right. We got 1 intercessor left. So our next lowest is now 4. So we're going to go 4 here. Okay. You would take all the lowest numbers first. You would. Yeah, you would. That is the correct way to do it. But what I was saying is I'm teaching allocation first. We're breaking it down in steps, everybody. I was saying, do the ones first. It's like, yeah, I'm just teaching you allocation first, okay? So that kills them all. You made the AP too high for the example. Fine, let's make it AP2. Sure, there we go. So we made it AP2, all right? So everything below a 5 has basically killed everything. So we've got rid of all the 2s, all the 3s, and all the 1s in the shittish save. Now we're moving over to a 2+ save. So AP minus 2, anything 4 or higher is going to save. Do we have anything that's 4 or higher? No. So we're going to take the first... Basically, we're going to look for anything that's lower than a 4 now. I think AP3 works. I think AP3 actually works, to be honest. I just think there's too many that would kill him. What we can do now we've used all the lowest numbers on the shitty save, we can go to our next highest. And now we've got nothing that's a 3 now. There's no other 3s. Okay. So now we'll go, a 4 is applied to him. Nothing happens. A 4 is applied to him, nothing happens. A 5 is applied to him, nothing happens. A 5 is applied to him, nothing happens. A 6 is applied, nothing happens. We've rolled the saves. Now, we've lost the entire unit, but we didn't have to slow roll. That's essentially how group allocation is going to work. Now, obviously, I've just given you a random example. We've just randomly, literally pulled numbers out of our ass, you know? But if we just spam some more numbers, we'll just do it all again. We'll do the exact same thing. We'll make it AP -2. Spam some more numbers, and I'll add it to this box. I'm going to write them all in a different color. No, I'm not. I'm just going to keep them as they are. We'll do it in blue this time. Another 2, another 3, a 5, and a 6. Can I just get rid of this line? Oh, I can. Look at that. Get rid of the yellow bits. Cool. Perfect. Sweet. So if we do that same thing again, and we say it's AP -2. Yeah, right. So we've got all the ones will automatically fail. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know? And then we've got the 2s will fail. We've got enough 2s to eat into this unit. So we've got 1, 2, 3. And then we've got to move on to the 3s. We've got 1, 2, 3 3s, which is the perfect amount to kill the units. We'll kill all off the 3s. We've done it again. We don't have enough 2s. We don't have enough 2s. Oh, I've missed a 2 even. Ignore me. Ignore me. I've missed a 2 here. So we'll cross off this 2 here. That's what we're going to have to do first. We have to pull them all out. With real dice, it'd be a lot easier. We've got 2 here. Any more 2s? No, we've done all these. Okay, then we've got 3s. Cool. 1's already been claimed. Okay, we've got a second 3. So this is now going to be applied to him. So he takes 2 wounds. He's got 2 left. Do we have any more 3s? No. So then the 4's applied to him. Nothing happens, etc. Can you do Masters of the Maelstrom Huron Chosen example? I'd have to get up the stats, but yeah. So essentially this way, like I said, if we did it before, we'd have to roll the 10 dice, and they'd be the first ones that pass, right? So at this point, the way the way that we fast rolled it
Gifted member.
Is we only took 2 wounds on our lieutenant, right? That was a 2 there. We only rolled 2 wounds on our lieutenant in that example. AP3 would get him. Yeah, if we went to AP3, it would work. Yeah, definitely. Now, if we went currently, what we'd end up rolling is the first 10 numbers, you know? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the first 10. So in 10th edition, we'd roll 10 dice. These are our results. We're AP2, so we'd lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'd go, there's 4 left. So we go, all right, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've lost the unit. The 5 would be applied here, which would pass. The 3 would take 2 wounds. The 2 would kill the character. And then the 2 would be applied here, which would do 2 wounds here. The 3 would go here, and we'd actually be left with 2 wounds on the captain if we slow rolled it in that order. That's kind of like the main difference, is actually it's going to feel a little bit stronger because you're not having to like slow roll them all. You're going to be able to essentially, yeah, you're grouping rather than just going through the dice as you roll them in order, you're going to actually group them in order to put all the 1s together, all the 2s together, all the 3s, etc., and then allocate them one at a time, or one group at a time, as it were. Yeah, it's so much faster because we didn't have to go, okay, we'll take the first 10, roll them, right, that's done. And it actually works out stronger because you are taking all the shit saves out first, which is quite nice. It's quite an interesting change. So if you didn't know how wound allocation works, that's essentially a very basic rundown, probably overcomplicating it just because of the format I'm doing it in, to make it like work out. Basically means characters live longer. Correct. Correct. Now, the issue is, chat, is from what I understand, along with this, okay, from what I understand, precision, okay, is essentially, now I haven't seen the precision rules, so we're just going off what we understand from what the commentator said, which isn't always great. Precision is enemy player's choice. Or order, even. So when you have precision, the enemy is going to be able to decide what group they're in. And they're going to go, this is group 1. This is group 2. And now this is group 3. So you're going to do the exact same thing and go through it all, but the enemy gets to choose the order, from what I understand from precision. So then we're going to go, oh, fuck, there's a 1, captain. There's a 1, captain. There's a 2, captain's dunzo. There's a 1. Oh, no, we should do the 1s first. Sorry, I did that wrong. There's a 1, the captain's dunzo. Now we're on 2s. All right, well, it's AP2, don't forget. It's Bosch. Bosch. I'd be worried if there's enough precision firepower to do 17 wounds. Have you never played against Deathwatch that can make their entire army precision for a turn? Have you never played against Angron with Heroic Challenge, for example? So then we're going to apply the 2s here. We're going to lose this one. Any more 2s? Another 2 there. Going to lose this one. 3. 3. 3. 4. 4. 4. And then I think that's the unit alive. So we actually live with 4 wounds left on the unit. Precision on a critical hit. Sure. So you're saying it's rare, but okay, well, I'm just using this amount of dice. You know why I'm using this amount of dice? Because I didn't want to like rewrite them all. Alright, sure. It's precision on a critical hit, but also heroic challenge isn't, you know? Heroic challenge is like, alright, I'm going to sweep attack and make it precision. So precision, by the sounds of it, the opponent chooses the order, so it's actually going to feel a lot more brutal, rather than going, oh, I'm going to apply 4 of them here. They're going to apply your save roll groups. That's what, from what I understand, that's the difference with precision. So it's going to make the game feel a lot faster. It's going to make precision a lot better. Judicia is better again with this rule after fights first died. Yeah. A 5-man Emperor's Children squad of Infractors does 22 precision attacks. It's pretty good. Evasion Fleet has army-wide precision. Wouldn't you need to still slow roll for Feel No Pain? I don't know anything about Feel No Pain because we haven't seen anything. But I imagine so. What you'd do is you'd apply that amount of wounds to him and then roll Feel No Pain. If you were slow rolling, you know, you got your 1s and your 2s or whatever, and your 3 and your 4s, you go, right, okay, I apply 2 here, and then I roll Feel No Pain. And then I apply 2 here, and then I roll Feel No Pain. So I think Feel No Pain is still going to be a slow roll. But what you can actually do is go, okay, well, I'm going to apply 1 here, 2 there. He's actually going to die, so I'm going to have to roll out the Feel No Pain now. He's got 1 wound left. He can take another one. Let's roll Feel No Pain. So I think Feel No Pain might be the slow roll, but not every save. Was that Siegler slow roll Feel No Pain in the 3rd game? Yeah, we've not had any confirmation of rule just yet because that would be silly. Imagine having confirmation of rules in our game about rules. But that's how saves is going to change. I don't have a thing for thinner pain. I'm just going off saves at the minute. So if you were confused about saves and slow rolling and group rolling and allocation and groups and whatever, hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Again, it didn't make sense to me either. I really didn't understand it until I really like just sat and read it and like really worked out what they were trying to say. I think it actually works quite well. I think as like a fundamental rule, being able to just throw your dice and then pull them into shit ones and then just allocate those to the first one until you've got 10, for example. I think it works quite well. Obviously, assuming all of those attacks are 2 damage, you know. With our little participation game. Obviously, if I did this on... I could have preset this to like make the dice work, but I thought it was funny to roll it out. They refuse to give confirmation of the release date in a game with an active tournament present, so you expect them to clarify rules. You're a small company, please understand. They are fucking useless, let's be honest. They are useless, let's be honest. So yeah, so hopefully this made sense. Is anyone got any further questions about slow rolling, about allocation saves and stuff like that? I think we got there in the end. So Makari is pointless? No. You just can't tank it on him straight away. He's gonna save Gazgul though. All those ones to save on Gazgul. Unclear. How so? Are we talking about thinner pain, you mean, or? I like the change, but precision needs to be less common if it looks to work like the way it does. It makes precision a lot more impactful, definitely. Take the ones of the boys and then Makai saves the rest. Yeah. Oh, you mean about Makari? It would be better explained if wearing a lab coat. It's too hot to wear the lab coat. It's too hot to wear the lab coat, bro. Come on. I think we got there in the end. I think we explained that quite well. I think we got there. You know what I mean? I think we nailed it. I'm gonna say I think we did pretty good, chat. Do you need to choose groups based on their saves or choose a unit? From what I understand, you allocate the groups as per their save. So you go, these are all 3+, these are all 4+, these are all 5+, so I'll allocate 3+ first, for example. Before you roll the saves. But Gaz won't save them anyways. If that's just Gaz and then Makari, then he dies because of course there'll be one rolled. Yeah, I don't think the intention was for Makari to tank everything. It's to tank 1 wound. You know what I mean? Bear in mind, with that, if you really wanted to say it like that, you could be like, oh, well, the first dice roll could be a 1. You know what I mean? You roll 15 saves, the first one could be a 1. Called Makari's dead. Now the other 14 are all on Gaz. I'm not a huge fan of the change, but I have no reason to dislike it other than it's a big change. I'm too stupid to really get it. Oh, I'm sorry if I didn't make it clear enough. As you guys, the hero need to take battle shocks to start each of your turns. Yeah, because they're part of the unit. Does Makari still have the 2+ invuln? He does, yeah. Yeah, lucky git. So he still has a 2+ invulnerable save. I tuned in late and missed half your example. Nice. Nice. Basically, simply done. You go, all right, cool. I've got a unit of 3 different saves. So this is group 1, this is group 2, this is group 3. You know, he's got 2+ armor save. You roll all your fucking dice together. You go, I'm going to put all my one. I'm going to, like, what, let me just, I'll draw it out very quickly. Right, group 1. Stop drawing in fucking blue over blue men, dude. Right, group 1. Group 1, group 2, group 3. Yeah, he's got a 2+, right? He's got a relic, an enhancement. You roll all your dice. You know? You go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got another 1, another 2. You go 5, a 6, etc. What you're going to do is you're going to allocate them into groups. You're going to go all my 1s together. I've got 2 1s. I've got 2 2s. Right. I've got a 3. I've got a 4, a 5, and a 6. Right. I'm going to allocate to group 1 first. I'm going to take these 2, kill 2. Right. I'm going to take these 2, kill 2. I'm going to take this 3. It's AP5. It's AP5, sure. I'm going to take the 3, allocate to this one. A 4, that failed. A 5, that failed. A 6, that failed. You know? That's essentially what you're going to split all your dice into little bundles and apply them one at a time. Apply the groups one at a time. Essentially. Is the mechanic completely broken with this? No, he's just not as good as he used to be. No, he's useless. He makes guys one more wound. That was always the intention. He's not supposed to be tanking 25 bolter shots. I guess my confusion comes with units that can have some, but not all models having ones on characters. So with that, basically, just like I said, just before you start rolling dice, you're just going to allocate groups. So like, what example? Shall we do a different example unit? Would that help, chat? Non-characters. So if you had like, you know, I don't fucking know. You've got like the Terminator in here because it's Space Wolves, you know. Can you still put Terminators in units like this? Just 2 randoms. Yeah, it's Deathwatch, right? It's Deathwatch. There you go. We've got a Deathwatch unit. Cool. Right. We've got a Storm Shield on this guy. And we've got a Storm Shield on this guy. Okay. So, like I said, when you've got all your saves to make, you've got a bundle of dice in your hand. Oh, company heroes. Yeah, sure. Let's just say we've got 2 random Storm Shields because it's Deathwatch. You allocate save groups. So now you've got like what are you being shot by? Kayari, me and you. What are you being shot by? What you're going to do is you're going to split these into groups still. So now we've got a group of 7 Marines with a 3+ save. We've got a group of 2 that have a 4+ invuln. Then we can apply it to the characters. So this is the 2+ save, no invuln. And then this is a 3+, 4+. Don't know what that plus was there, but there we go. A 4+. So what you're going to do, before you roll dice, you're going to say, now you've got an extra group because you've got a different save, and you can't apply it to the characters. Before we had, without the Storm Shields, we have 1, 2, 3, because they all have a 3+ armor save. Now, because you've got a 4+ invuln, they're slightly different. So now we're going to just allocate these different groups, and you're going to go, oh, it's AP4 or whatever. So then I'm going to allocate it to the 4+s first. So you can take all the 1s and 3s and the guys of that invulns first. No, you can't choose how the dice are, you know. Chat, let's get some dice rolls out. Chat, give me some dice rolls. Go for it. And then what we can do is we can say it's all AP4, so it's going to ignore all AP3. It's AP3. Come on, give me some 1s as well. Don't roll up really high because this won't work. We don't know the dice rolls, for example, right? But we know it's high AP. And I don't want to lose all my Marines. I need the objective control. So we're going to make this group 1, okay? This is going to be group 2 because it has to be. And then we can choose the characters. It's high AP I'm going to put it on this guy first. This is going to be group 3, and this is going to be group 4. Okay? So essentially, we're going to roll saves and apply wounds until this unit's dead, and then we're going to apply wounds until this part of the unit's dead, and then we're going to apply wounds until he's dead, and then apply wounds until he's dead. Okay? Right. We're probably going to lose this entire unit just because chat knows what's going on now. But our save rolls, for example... Okay. I'm going to try and do it cleaner this time. So we do this. Okay. Save rolls. We've got a 4. We've got a 4. A 3. A 4. A 5. A 2. Thank you, Des, for all of those numbers. I'm not putting all those in. We've got a 6. We've got a 1. We've got a 1. We've got a 3. These are all 2 damage. AP3, 2 damage. Okay. 3, a 3, a 2, and a 1. These are our dice rolls, all right? We're going to apply it to group 1 first. Okay, so we're going to split these into groups. So we've got 3 1s. So we've got 1, 1, 1. And then we've got a 2 and a 2. So we've got 2, 2. And we've got 1, 2, 3. We splitted it out like this just so it's a lot... so it's a lot easier for us as viewers to understand. Okay? Kyle's added as a 6. Sure, we'll take that. How many 4s do we get? 1, 2, 2 4s. And then we've got 5s. We've got 1 5 and 2 6s. Okay. So this is what we've rolled. We'll ignore all this now. This is what we've rolled. Right. We're applying the wounds to group 1. Okay. So we have to use the wound. These all technically save right now. Technically all save. But we have to apply these first. So we're going to apply that 1 here and kill him. We're going to apply that 1 here and kill him. All right. Or should I make it 1 damage? Let's make it 1 damage. Might make more sense. So it's 1 damage, AP3. I didn't change the color. You get the idea. Would you put it on not put it on the ones last, or you had to put it on first? So we've applied this as group 1. Sure. So we're going to have to apply this first. So we make it 1 damage. He takes a wound. He takes a wound. He takes a wound. He takes a wound. Now we've run out of group 1, we're going to move to 2. He takes a wound. 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 If it was AP3 and 1 damage, that's how we'd have to apply it. Now you're saying, could you not do it the other way? Yeah, but before you know the dice rolls, you can't choose after you've seen them. You know? So let's say we made this. You know, let's make this group 2. And then this group 1. Now you've rolled these. Right. That's going to kill 1. 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 You know, the 5 does another wound. You know. At what stage do you choose the groups? Before you roll the dice. You are given this amount of dice. You go, okay, I'm going to apply it to the 3+ save, then the 4+ save, then the captain, then the lieutenant, then roll your dice. You choose the groups before you roll to hit. As far as I'm aware, it's before you roll saves, but I'll just double check. Why did you not come? Sorry. Oh, shit's gone. We have to get rid of all this. Sorry, chat. So, attack units, select weapons, select targets, resolve attacks, and then it says create groups and declare order, as you can see down here. And it says resolve attack dice. Oh, actually, no. So I think... Sorry, I've mistaken this just because I've read it as an order, but it's just... I think this has been put together again. Create groups and declare order. Then resolve attack dice. Wound the target 5 times. The target controlling player makes 5 save rolls. Oh, so you actually make the groups before they roll anything. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, I was completely wrong. It's because I read 1, 2, 3 and then went this to 4, but it's actually no. It's because we've got a mixed save here. You actually roll it the opposite way. So the target unit's control the player divides into groups, one containing Celestine, one containing the Gemini Superior, one containing the Seraphim. They then declare the allocation order, choosing the Gemini Superior first, hoping their better save, and in one of fine plus characteristic will weather the attacks. The Seraphim must be chosen second, as Celestine is a character, so she must be the last. Then you roll the attack dice. The attack resolves one at a time, from the lowest save roll to the highest. The 2 results of 1 are allocated first to the allocation group, the Gemini. They both inflict damage and the Gemini are destroyed. The result of the 3 is then allocated to the Seraphim, who became the current allocation group. When the modified AP of the attacking weapon is 1, it does damage, destroying one of the Seraphim. So you want to pick an invuln models after non-invuln models when assigning the group order, so you don't lose your invuln save to the lower dice rolls. Correct. So yeah, it's before any dice rolls are made. Yeah, I thought it was before saves, but actually it's before dice rolls, before attacks. So the trick is here, is in basically every edition. So without precision, the characters have to be last. Yeah, so that's still the same. You can't apply wounds to the characters unless they're the last thing left. So basically, your characters are always the bottom of the order. So I declare groups they attack, yes. Then you roll saves, then you apply those saves basically in numbers, in groups at a time. So yeah, so in every edition, we've had it where you would choose a model and they'll tank all the saves until he's dead. Then the next model will take it. Now it's per attack, and you go, what are you shooting at me? I'm going to change who's going to tank it each time you declare an attack. Now, the question is, which we don't have, is if we have a wounded model already, whether they have to be in that group, whether it's a model or it's save. What if we've already got a wounded unit? Maybe we'll have multiple wounds in the unit. That's something I currently don't know. You know, the one thing we haven't addressed is if we have a unit like this, what if we have a guy on 1 wound? You know, like these are dead, you know, but we got a guy on 1 wound. What happens then? Is this before the attacking unit decides the order they shoot with? That we don't know. That we don't know yet. That would change everything. Yeah, I don't know. I currently don't know how that works. As though you do it individually for each weapon. That would make a lot of sense, to be fair. There's like 1 enemy unit being targeted, so the controlling player now gathered the attack dice. The attack dice from any weapons will be gathered once heavy bullet attacks are resolved. See opposite. Oh, yeah, so select weapons, select targets, resolve attacks, and resolve attack dice. It sounds like you're going to say, I'm going to shoot multiple weapons, and then for weapon 1, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then weapon 2, I'm going to go 2, 3, 1, etc. Select next group of attack dice to repeat. Yeah, it's per. You're right, Ravel. That advice. It's per weapon that you apply the groups. I think the easiest way to think about it is when you have a unit that has multiple weapons, you're essentially resolving all of the weapons together like they're a separate unit. Does that make sense? You know, I'm going to shoot all my heavy bolters first. All right, cool. I'm going to apply it to this, 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 and this. Right, plasmas. Right, cool. Shoot me again. I'll shoot this. I'll target this, 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 and this. But yeah, I don't know how it works if you've got, like, a wound remaining, you know? You got a guy on 1 wound. Can I apply it to a different unit now? Because it's high AP or low AP or whatever? You know? I think... I'm not 100% sure of, like, the nuance of, like, who to put on where first. Because ultimately you could go, I'm going to apply it to this unit first and there are 5 ones. You know what I mean? Against a 2-up armor save. Per weapon, you get a pool of dice and then you decide how to defend next weapon. Exactly. Exactly that. Yeah, you nailed it. Chat, we did it. Look at us. It can come up if you have a mixed normal squad with, say, 1 guy with a storm shield. You should think about a unit in Black Templars that has a bunch of different model types. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think allocating wounds makes so much sense until you go, what if I've got a guy on a wound? How does that work? Do you just ignore it and just say they're a different part of the group and have, like, 1 wound here, 1 wound there, start splitting them out. I don't know. We don't actually know anything about that yet. But I think we understand allocation groups. We just don't understand allocation groups when there's multiple wounds left. Can you change the order per gun? Yes. Yes, Dicky. How you doing well, buddy? Yeah, so that's what we've worked out. You select weapons, select targets, and then it says resolve attacks. And then resolve attacks is basically getting your dice ready. Then you allocate your groups, and then you roll the actual... Let me just double check. Yeah. So resolve attacks is actually just get your attack dice ready. Then you create groups. Then you roll attack dice for each weapon. And then you do the next group of attack dice and repeat. So you go, I've got 20 bolter shots here. I've got 3 heavy bolter shots here. I've got 1 plasma gun here. I'm going to do the bolter shots first. And you go, cool, I'm going to apply it to this group, then this group. And you're going to roll those. And then you go, right, heavy bolter time. And you're going to go, I'm going to apply it to this group, then this group. And then I'm going to get the plasma gun. I'm going to apply it to this group, then this group. All right, different toughnesses. That's not on today's agenda because we don't have those rules yet. It makes sense that we wouldn't have to take it first, but it's GW. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. Would definitely make a lot of sense. The other question is the how do we allocate if we've got the same armor save, but one of them's got an invuln and one of them doesn't, and then the weapon has no AP? You know. That's the that's another question for me, is what if we've got a weapon where we've got different invuns, but we've got the same armor save, you know? Do we put them in the same group and then just choose not to apply it to those models? Do we start to put it into separate groups, for example? I don't know. If wounded have to go first and precision is chipped to wound off the character and all following attacks basically have precision. No, because just like now, if you can have a character wounded in the unit and then all the rest of attacks have to go to the unit as well. So you can have mixed wounds right now. Like I said, we don't know the full extent of the change of the rules just yet, but you can have mixed wounds or mixed wounds remaining with characters specifically right now. You have 2 dice pool. You have a second dice for it, basically. I know I'm blown out, but my curtain is flopping about everywhere, so I just moved it out of the way. Sorry. It's gonna be a long 4 weeks of waiting for a release. Yeah. If I have a Death Company squad, I roll chainswords first, then save, or do I attack with all 3 weapon types in my Death Company squad? You would go, I am attacking you with chainswords, power fists, and eviscerators. I'm going to go with the chainswords first, and then you go, cool, I'm going to apply it to this group, then this group, and then you roll your dice. Then you go, right, I'm going to go with the power fist next, and I'm going to apply it to this group, this group, this group. Cool. And I'm going to go the eviscerator, and then I'm going to go this group, this group, this group. It's kind of like each weapon is a separate attack pool, essentially. Mixed weapon squad. Who decides the firing order? The attacker. The attacker decides the firing order. The defender decides the save order. Right? Bro, my camera's just had enough of me. It's like too bright. It's too bright, bro. That's no different to how it is now. Yeah, like someone's asking me a question. I'm not trying to say it's different. Someone's asking me a question. Someone said, who defines the weapon order? Yeah, it's just like, essentially you got like loads of different pools. The only difference now is you're applying the pools rather than going, okay, I'm going to apply it to this unit first and roll X amount of dice for how many models can take it, or rolling one at a time. You're rolling all of them together and just applying the saves all at once. What did it say at the start? Better GW can both see and hear me. You can see me, can't you? What do you mean? Why are you going around attacking people? What? Tiring will be a real problem until addressed. Well, how so? How so? Tiring's basically just +1 to hit. Tiring's only within 12 inches. Yeah, I think so. I assume they mean towing to terrain feature seen through it. Yeah, that is a problem. Big time. That's not towering though, is it? It's like old towering, new towering. I feel like detection range stuff is something people aren't factoring when they initially look at the new layouts and rules like towing to terrain. Like muscle memory almost. Well, the thing is with detection range stuff is it's barely going to come up. I don't think hidden's very good. Like I kind of pointed out with the Riptide example on earlier. 15 inches is very long. 15 inches is quite far, you know? And the fact that you can just hide behind terrain and then touch it to see through it, then you just go, well, you have to go and grab these objectives. So even if you're in terrain, I'm going to be within 15 inches of you. Because to be hidden, you have to be in the terrain, don't forget. You know? To be hidden, you have to be in it. You want to be hidden in here? Sick. Cool, I can see you from here, you know? If a unit stood there, let's say this is a unit, this skull, you can see into your deployment zone. If they want to see a unit that is on this objective, they can like almost sit behind this terrain piece. Yeah, making the assumptions on their thought process. I think Hidden was designed with just turn 1 in mind. Later, it's not going to come into play. Yeah, it's literally just a turn 1 denial. But like I said, if you got a fucking Riptide that can scout and then advance and shoot, does it matter what your hidden range is? Like, you're not going to be able to hide in terrain turn 1. You're just going to have to sit behind here, and then you can be seen as soon as they scout into here. You know what I mean? And you're only going to have to touch this corner. And you're able to see behind this ruin. Just forgetting that because you can't sit in the terrain. Because if you sit in the terrain, they can see you here, right? They touch this piece of terrain here, they can see you. So then you're going to have to sit behind it, and then you go, cool, I'll just scout into this corner here, and now I can see fucking wherever I want. You know, I can see all the way back here. There's still 15. It looks it. Three piranhas and a Riptide, yeah. So you're going to be able to get hidden here. That's about it. Like, you're at the back corner, you're probably not going to be able to get shot. I think that's totally fair consideration. You basically need to be able to move minimum 16 inches turn 1 to see someone hidden on the edge of your opponent's deployment zone. And then weapon range of 15 or better. Yeah, but to be able to be hidden, you have to be in terrain. And it's only infantry and beasts. So to be hidden, I have to be on this terrain piece. So now I can be seen from there. If I'm just behind the terrain, now I can't be seen. I think hidden's bad. It's only going to help this unit on the backfield. That's it. You can't be hidden here, you know, because you can just be seen there, you know. Let's say, oh, I'm touching this corner behind this ruin. I'm hidden. Like, cool, I can see you there. It's 4 inches from my deployment zone. But you're not going to be in the terrain in no man's land. Well, if you're going to be here, let's say, cool, I can see you there. I can see you barely halfway across. Cool, I'm going to hide here. Cool, I can see you in the middle of the board. For someone to be able to do that, they need to put themselves in nay range with 2-inch engagement. -1 to hitting cover will have more of an impact on shooting than hidden. Yeah, I totally agree, bro. Taco make it 24 inches instead of 15. Look, let's not put town detection range in just yet, all right? Let's just talk about 15 inches, all right? You want to make it 24? Hidden's basically been turned off. Yeah, hidden's not a bad mechanic. It's just so much less impactful than people are going to make it out. You know? Like I say, if you're hidden in this ruin, I just move to the middle, I can shoot you. You know? I do think people were worried about whole armies of world eaters not getting shot at all, and that's not how it's going to be. No, literally. And the problem is as well, is where do you stage that world eaters army? Over here, in this little tiny ruin. I'm going to put 20 berserkers here. I'm going to be fucking... My ass, my dump truck is going to be out here. You know? Yeah, I'm hidden. Let's go. And then one guy with a gun goes... Cool, I'm going to move out outside of my deployment zone. How close can we be? We can basically be in the deployment zone and shoot it. You know? Cool. Wonderful. The only way you're going to be able to stage world eaters on this, right, is like fucking going, like, okay, one guy here, one guy there, one guy there, 2-inch engagement there, and then 2-inch engagement there, and then the rest here, you know? Yeah, sick. I'm staged, chat. I'm 2 inches outside my deployment zone. Hidden. Sick. Does this count as hidden? I don't know. I actually don't know. Does the whole unit have to be in terrain to get hidden, or is it model by model? Because then this guy's going to have to move... Oh, fucking look how far he's going to have to move now. He has to move to, like... Oh, my God, I can't even see. He's going to have to move to, like, there to be able to see. Oh, my God. With a new coherency bubble, you can't hide. Also so true. I think they said every model needs to be within to benefit of cover. Well, we talk about hidden, not benefit of cover, though, aren't we? Does benefit of cover and hidden count as the same thing? I don't know. That's the question. The ultimate question. Because you can't even do this anymore. You can't even do this anymore. Because the next one is coherency, chat. The next one's coherency. Sweet, let's look at coherency. So the new coherency, I think, is actually really good. This is a nice and quick one. Basically, you can't be more than 9 inches away with one model in your unit, you know. Everything has to be within 9 inches. Not wholly. They said every model in this unit is within 2 inches of at least one of the model in this unit, and every model is within 9 inches of every other model in this unit. Therefore, the unit is in coherency. So gone are the days of being able to conga line like crazy. Let's get our intercessor example. This is how you deploy intercessors, everybody. This is how you deploy intercessors. Right, let's make this a real unit, okay? One sec. Let's make this a real unit now. Where's my rubber? There it is. So we need a 9 circle. No, you need to use your deep strike stick. Games Workshop have both neutered 9-inch deep strike sticks and then given them a reason to exist again. Can I sticky 2 midboard objectives with tormentors? I don't know maths. I don't think you can. This is an intercessor, right? This is a little intercessor. And currently, if I wanted to play... Why is he so big? What have I missed? Let me try again. I missed clearly a speck of a marine. Nope. What I can do is this. There we go. Is this one who sets a coherency? No, not currently. So in 10th edition, what you can actually do... Oh my god, everything's gone to shit. What you can actually do is have an intercessor 2 inches away. You know, an intercessor 2 inches away. An intercessor 2 inches away. Let's make them all smaller. This isn't working. So, we can have intercessors 2 inches away until we got a unit of 5. As soon as we've got a unit of 5, okay, we're 2.5 away. Just it looks nicer, okay. Pretend it's 2. As soon as you got more than a unit of 5, right? If we can't put one here because that is now out of coherency because we need to be within 2 inches of 2. So now we have to start lining up our intercessors here like so. Okay, if we got a unit of 10, for example. More than 6. Sure, fine, cool. We can put one more there. Sweet. Now we need to be within 2 inches of 2, so we need to make sure that this one actually tucks in a little bit. What the fuck is that control there? What is happening? Bro. And then this one needs to tuck in there, okay? Is this still a unit of 10? Yes. Because now all the bases are within 2 inches of 2. And what this leads to is actually a little trick you can do. Is you can actually go, well, this guy's not in coherency. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little guy here. 2, 2, 2. Sweet. And then we're going to put him there. He's within 1, 2, 2. So he's within range of 2. He's within range of these 2. He's within range of these 2. And then this one and this one, he's in range of 2. And then he's in range of 2. And we can do a little conga line like this. Okay. So what you can actually do right now, because you need to be within 2 inches of 2, is you can make little, like, what they call the triangles on the end, right? Where you bundle 3 guys together, or 3 people together, or whatever, 3 models together, to be able to create a conga line. Because now, because these are all within 2 inches of 2, because you bundle up there, and you bundle up here. Now, if you lose this guy, the entire unit falls apart. But usually you're not trying to lose one guy. You're just trying to keep enough guys around to be able to do shenanigans, essentially. For example, let's say all of these are Necron warriors. Should we do it with Necron warriors? Because they're the problem. Necron warriors, let me do it. Dogbone. Yeah, it's a dogbone example. I gotta look at more pictures when your fucking window's so small. For God's sake. So what we can do is have all of these as Necron warriors instead, because there's 20 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Fuck, I'm in the background. 15, 16, 17, fuck, 18, 19. So you can kind of stretch them out quite far because this is a legal deployment. As long as they've got 2 inches of 2 at the edge, you've got the dog bone deployment. You can kind of string your models out quite crazily. What usually happens is you have this, right? Again, not to scale, but you get the example. You have something like this, and they're like holding an objective, right? They're in this objective, and then you're like stringing out. You're like stringing out like this, okay? And you're going, right, okay, we'll string all the way back here, for example. And then behind this wall, we've got all the rest of the warriors. God damn it. I hate that select type tool. I'm just trying to move that guy. They're all going to go behind this wall here. There's fuck. I love and hate Photoshop. I just want everyone to know. Is it way more fun with Photoshop, or do you wish I just would stop spitting my dummy out and just use TTS? So what happens is you get something like this, right? And let's say all of this is like, it's fuck it, they're on this objective. This isn't to scale, so it works. They're on this objective here. We're like, fuck yeah, OC6 on here. Sure thing. OC9, probably knowing Necrons. You know what I mean? They're doing crazy shit, basically. They're doing some crazy fucking undead shit. And then you go, oh, fuck. Right, okay, well, we're getting shot now, so I'm going to fucking kill this guy. I'm going to 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 kill this guy. Not this guy, because he's keeping coherency there. I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill this guy. Are you done? Right, I'm going to reanimate. How many OC have you got on here? Cool, let's put another one there. Let's put another one there. Right, it's definitely ours now. They'll put the rest back here. That's essentially what's happening in the game right now with the Necron Warrior blob in particular. Because it's very unkillable because you've got stuff that reduces AP. You've got stuff that buffs OC. You've got the makes them better at battle shock. And you also... yeah, you get the cover saves as well. So because you're taking all the wounds over here, you're getting a cover save. And then you got like a fuck ton of reanimation potential. You've got like get 3 back here, D3 this, reroll this, D6 there, etc. So it's just like a really annoying unit, and it has a full plus movement because it's got a the character attached to Chronomancer or Oricon or whoever. So it's like just like a bit of a ridiculous unit, and that's basically what happens. Is you go, cool, right, you're gonna kill me, right? What's your OC on here again? I can afford to lose this one. Fuck off. I can afford to lose this one. I can afford to lose this one. And now I'm going to take them on here. You know? Not that one. This one. This one. This one. This one. And then that's about... I've got like 7 bladed wounds. Cool. Reanimate here. And then we'll just take this objective off here. While we're at it, we're going to take this objective off here as well. And then the rest are going to go behind here. You know, it's a pretty dumb unit. It's a pretty dumb strategy. And that's what they can do. Now what they've said is coherency is 9 inches. All right. Let's draw a little circle. It's 9 inches. None of these models are to scale, so they're not going to fit in this 9-inch circle. None of them are going to fit. Right, okay. One sec. Let's select all the warriors and try and make them 32 mil now. Right, okay, okay. It's like 1.5 inches. That's about 2 inches. Oh, it's inch and a bit, right? That's about the scale. It's quite clever, but super annoying. It is super annoying. Now, if they're trying to take this middle objective, for example... If they're trying... Fuck off! Why are you not doing it? What's going on with this fucking select tool, bro? Fucking Photoshop's updated, clearly. So that's what they do. They'd be grabbing this middle objective by staying here. Now they've got to fit within this circle. All of them. All of them. So the most you're going to be able to do is kind of like toe in there. 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 This is the furthest you're going to be able to get out, you know what I mean? Can I change this? Nope. Toe in there. Toe in there. doing there? That's basically like the furthest you're gonna be able to spread out. Yeah, it's not fully within, it's just within. You're gonna run out of circle eventually, but you're gonna have to use your 9-inch measuring sticks to work out the furthest spread out. No dog bone, only circle, yeah. You can still like, you don't have to be in a circle, but you just have to be wholly within, or within 9 at the end of your movement, right? You know, so you can still like spread out a bit, but it's like 9 inches is your max. We go from dog bone to dog bowl. We're trying to keep it tidy, all right? So this guy would be dead because he's out of coherency, you know? Now, let's say, let's say all these warriors are actually Khorne berserkers, because I'm not doing it again, all right? I'm not rechanging it all again, you know? If I were to stage in here, right, I'm gonna be able to get like 4 deeds in here, all right? Maybe if I'm lucky. And then I'm going to have to, like, conga line 2 inches from that one, and then 2 inches from that one. And then I'm going to hide the rest behind here, right? But now, I've got to make sure that this one over here is within 9. So I have to kind of consider, oh, the furthest I can get away is over there, right? Because we've got that one at the front that's trying to be our stage. So all of the other ones that are trying to be out of the cover, you know, we've got to make sure they end within 9. So you can't even like fully hide. I think you might be able to if you're doing this like in real life. But you're gonna have to like remain behind the cover. But you're gonna struggle to get everybody in without touching the cover, you know? I think you might have to put one over here. You might have to go, oh fuck, he's gonna have to go there. I think that's like gonna be like what a lot of staging is gonna look like now. Because you've got to remain within at least 9 from one end to the other. You can't be out of 9 of every model. You still find for coherency in terms of 2 of 2 because you're basically forced to stay 2 of 2. But yeah, like normally if you wanted to stage, you're trying to get over here, for example, you'd want to like do something like this and hide them behind this wall. You can't really do that anymore. So I think like everyone's gone, oh, combat armies are so sick. I don't think you can stage a combat army at all. I think your whole unit needs to be in the terrain to be hidden. That we don't know, but even so, we're just trying to physically hide. I would understand better if there were orks. No. I'm putting my foot down. We're not playing orks. Orks cringe. So yeah, there's like people are like going, oh my god, World Eaters are going to be so broken, Melee's back. It's like, where do you stage a fucking World Eaters army on here? You're going to stage it over here? You know? Let's fucking stage this World Eaters army. How did that even work? How are you going to stage it? We're going to stage a World Eaters army fucking here, bro. That's it. That's the best we can... The best I can do is there. Cool. As soon as I touch this, you're dead. And then here you can't hide. Just play the advanced and charging army like Emperor Children. The World Eaters problem is solved. Yeah, true. True. So coherency is an absolutely massive change, honestly. It's absolutely crazy. It really nerfs Necrons, and it really makes like other large units really hampered. Because conga lines are cringe, let's be honest. Like the Necron example, very strong. It is cringe. If you roll double 1 on the charge, you fail a 1-inch charge as well. That's true. But what I won't be failing is feeling energized, because I'm going to be drinking some Gundam Ramuno Melon G Fuel. Exclamation point G Fuel in chat if you'd like. If you're an energy drinker like I am, I drink a lot of energy drinks, but I feel like they're not good for me. This one's pretty good. It's mostly water. It's just a scoop of powder in my little cup. I'll put a little bit extra because I'm a sweet boy. But there's no sugar, no calories. Just full of vitamins. 278% of my vitamin C in 1 cup of G Fuel. Isn't that pretty good? Exclamation point G Fuel in chat. you're going to get 30% off using my link and code. It's not in my Gundam cup. My Gundam cup's over there, but I do have a Tails cup. They come with cool cups as well. So I'm removing a melon today. Very tasty. So exclamation point G Fuel. If you want some energy drinks, they're very nice. Better for you, and you can have them at home much cheaper as well. It's like 40 drinks of G Fuel is like, with the discount code, like 20 something quid, I think. Oh, they're so tasty. Anyway, we've done coherency. What we got next? We've done rotating. Got that one twice for some reason. We've done allocation groups. This one's fairly straightforward. Solid. This is a very, very simple explanation for ITC lower level blocks line of sight. They basically added solid as a core rule. And essentially what it means is any windows or gaps in terrain that is within 3 inches of the floor, so first level, automatically blocks line of sight. There is no windows in there. Yo, guys! Dude, my man! Holy shit!
All Trade celebrates 70 months of membership. Whoops, I dropped this.
Dude, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for the 70 months. Let me quickly add people. We had Dodgy Dave, who joined. Welcome to the Boys Club, dude. Really appreciate it. I know obviously they came up, so apologies. We had a gifted from Back to Earth. Back to Earth. 1983. And we had Gaz with the parasocial resource. He's going to get five entries. Thank you so much, everybody, for really appreciate the support. If you are super chatting, becoming a member, resubbing, or anything like that today, you are being entered to win a brand new 11th edition box set. As you can see, May 11th edition box set Royal Rumble giveaway. We're giving away an 11th edition Armageddon box, free to you anywhere in the world, shipped for free. I can't cover local taxes because I don't know how they work, but I will post it to you for free. So if you'd like an 11th edition box set, you want to support the channel at the same time, become a member or gift a membership or send a super chat. That's how you get an entrance. How do you see WTC using GW layouts? Just massive walls, ruins, and then keep the placement / airy terrain. I honestly think the best way to fix the problem I'm seeing with GW terrain, the best way I think Games Workshop can fix the terrain is actually putting bigger ruins on the placements. But I don't know what WTC are doing, to be honest. I've got no idea. I kind of hope they stick with the terrain because I've got loads of it, but I don't know if they're using GW layouts or using GW buildings wholesale. So I don't know. There's rumors going around that Games Workshop are giving loads of pre-painted terrain to WTC. So, because they're desperate for them to use their layouts. So yeah, so solid is the big change. However, I think the problem is like we kind of mentioned on this, is that like the terrain's not big enough for solid to make a difference, especially on this layout, you know? It's not big enough. Like, none of this terrain's going to block line of sight to barely any, like a couple of infantry models in the corners, maybe. That's about it. Now, if these terrain pieces were like, you know, somewhat more substantial, you know, like WTC ruins, for example, I think it'd work quite well. Because now you can hide in there quite nicely. They said they would use GW layout. Have they said what buildings they're using? And terrain. Yeah, cool games, fuck them. Because at the minute, this isn't substantial enough. Like we can see from the live stream. Where's it gone? There. Like, what are you hiding behind these walls? You know, Yeah, they're quite long, but they've got cutaways in them. You can't see through through windows, but there aren't any windows. Look, you can barely hide poxwalkers in here. You know what I mean? Elite Army's gonna love this. Elite Army's gonna have a great time. You can't really hide too much in these corners. There's, like I said, where would you stage an army? You can't stage 10 poxwalkers in this ruin because it sticks out too much. You've got like 3 models there. They can barely hide. When did I turn my fan off? What the fuck? Like I said, if there was like quite a substantial ruin, let's say a WTC ruin, you know, it'd be like up here, then it'd be across here, and then it'd be like there. Something like that, you know? I know not everyone's a fan of the big L's, but they are a band-aid to fix a larger problem. You can actually hide shit in there then. It's actually like kind of annoying to get into. You know? Let's say you got another one here. And it's like across there. Do that in blue. Yeah, you can't see what's going on very much, but it actually looks way better because it's like there's actually places that you can sit in this ruin and be protected. And to get round, you're gonna have to go all the way around here, all the way around here. You know, where we're at now, like where do you hide? You know, you can't. This objective ruin is just like not unusable, but it's just like I'm not hiding anything whatsoever. It's funny because actually me a while ago, we used to use terrain like that. We used to have 2 big L's in the middle and it worked quite nicely. Trying to think which one. Definitely Blood Angels one. Not this one. I'm trying to think of what game it was. Was it with Valrak? No, it wasn't with Valrak. It's on with Tom. This one? Nope. I know there's one. It's so annoying I can't remember. There's one specific one I'm trying to think of. I just can't remember what it was. It's kind of one here with Kev. You know, Kev, we used to kind of use... That's kind of like... That's actually quite similar to the layouts now. And this is like fucking 9th edition, I think. You know? Like, we've got the big ruin in the middle. We've got an objective that's actually protected with some fairly substantial L-shaped ruins. We've got some random little bits of terrain here. Random little bits of terrain there. Protecting the objectives. It's basically the same. This is an old WTC layout. So yeah, like something more substantial like this. Like I said, it's kind of like similar here. It's like I can't see through this bit. I can't see through this bit, right? So to see, I'm going to have to go round. It actually makes it dynamic. And if I'm going round, I'm coming closer to this. Whereas if there's no fucking building there, if there's fucking nothing there, then why I just fucking sit here and shoot the shit out of it? Why engage when I can just sit for miles away and do it like that? The other change of terrain is the biggest issue. I think it's fundamentally part of the problem, yeah. I think it's fundamentally part of the problem because being able to tow into terrain, like I said, this riptide can just touch here, right? With a stupid little base. And he can see through. He can't see through there. He can't see through there, but he can see through that way and like that, and just see straight through. Yeah, the GNU trade's too small. Yeah, they've tried to make. I imagine they've tried to make it affordable for 100 quid. I imagine they're trying to make it affordable by keeping it small, and then you just go, oh, actually, this barely works. Then the broader problem, though, is massive L-shaped ruins basically means that cover for being in terrain was never happening, and that's clearly a rule they want to be prominent in 11th. What do you mean the cover wasn't happening? Well, all these big L's were on footprints, you know, like they are now. I don't know how it's meant to be, but the physical terrain isn't to scale. Well, the physical terrain is what they play. We're not like abstracting the terrain, except for like when we're not on it. We're not saying, oh, this terrain's infinitely like this. The terrain's not like that. It's only like that when we're not on it, you know? It's a little box. Is the terrain we've seen from the 11th box or chapter approved? The terrain is a separate purchase. Is that what you're asking me? Yeah, but they're smaller elves and spaced out so that you're going to be targeted in the footprint. Whereas currently, if you're in a ruin, you're often untargetable. Yeah, you're right. I just think that's going to lead to more, like... I just think the game's going to be quicker because you're going to lose so much more. The difference here is if you're in the ruin, you're on the objective now. I think that's the big change. So they've kind of gone, we don't actually make it unseeable. But what I was saying is like, when you've only got this, if this was like this, you know, even if it was just like that, like 5 inches high, at least you can interact with it. And if it's got windows, you know what I mean? Then you can sit behind it and they have to be right next to it. They have to be right next to it to be able to see, you know what I mean? Whereas now, if you're on this objective, you're just dead. Like, the game's too killing. Like, you're just dead. So, like, the only way you can be able to hold objectives is by towing here with, like, infantry. That's the only way you can hide. You know? If I was going to hold this, I'd be holding it with poxwalkers here. Tournament terrain may be different in distinct release. This is the tournament terrain. This is what they'll use at their events. That's why they made it pre-painted, so they can get Chinese men to paint it for them rather than paying a team. We nerfed Alpha Strike, so you get table turn 2 instead. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. I'm just saying, it's like, oh, you're on the objective, you just get shot. Now the objectives aren't in the open, they are the terrain, but the terrain is open. The stream set was painted by hand. Yeah, the stream set was. Sure, that doesn't change the fact that they're just, like, basically farming out their terrain painting for tournaments to China. and then the Chinese man is like, fuck this shit, this is cringe, I'm going to use a machine to do it. Which I'm like, you know what, based. Wholly based. But yeah, so it's just like, I'm gonna have to play it, but I just don't see it. Like, if I was thinking, I'm just thinking about, like, my armies. I just think about my armies and just how much of a fucking field day I'm going to have on these. And by that I mean my opponent is not going to have a good time. How do you think those lifted pipes are played? You mean like this? I think it's just line of sight blocking when you're not on it. I think otherwise it's basically useless. The Necros get crazy rerolls against units on objectives. They sure do. It's barely a wall, yeah. Knights are going to be melted so fast. You're not going to be able to hide from a knight, ever. like, there's nowhere to hide from a knight on this board, except for, like, your deployment zone. Yeah, the tall pipe, what I'm saying is it's just essentially to say it's line of sight blocking when you're not on it. Otherwise, it's useless. It just blocks line of sight because you're not on the template. That largely, I don't know if you're able to walk through it or not. I don't know if that's trying to say that vehicles can't go through it, maybe. You know? Maybe that's why it's so tall. I'm starting to think 11th hasn't really been thought through. I'm starting to think that maybe 11th edition was 7 months behind schedule. So they haven't had much time to actually think about the things that they're doing. Telling right to terrain, I really want to clarify if medics can move like dead units as they're no longer detached. Yeah, I think they'll be able to, from what I understand. But again, without the full rules, can't confirm. But I imagine they will be able to. If it's yellow, vehicles can go through it. Yeah, you're right, aren't they? So these are green, so they can't. I think that's why they're so tall. So they can't go through the floating this thing, basically. So this is too. Can I draw it? I can't change the color. This is too tall, for example. This section in the middle is too tall, for example, and the buildings. That makes sense. I was thinking if they ever made you a perfect edition, how would they sell you a new one after 3 years? I don't think they are purposefully trying to wreck the edition to be able to sell you another one in 3 years. That is definitely not the case. I don't think they have that. I don't think they have it in them, mate. I don't think they have that sort of, like, not goal, what am I thinking of? A word that makes sense in this situation. I don't think they have it in them to be able to think that far ahead, to be like, yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to fucking ruin this edition so I can sell you another one in 3 years. Every edition has had its issues, at least with 10th, they have shown they are willing to address the core ones. They did kind of like rehire the entire rules team to do it. Yeah, it's not planned obsolescence, yeah. Yeah, they basically fired and rehired the entire rules team. Any more rules from the stream? I mean, we kind of talk about towing now, right? I have loads of rules from the stream, yeah. Can I elaborate on what? We should stop being so negative. 11th edition is going to be great in about 10 or 11 months when all the bugs have been patched. Yeah, and it's the codex problems. Fire then rehire. Can I elaborate on that? Well, they made a competitive team. A competitive rules team that handled the FAQs, which now ultimately handle the core rules. And then everyone who was writing the rules doesn't work there anymore. Or has been put into different roles. For example, the guy who's mostly writing the rules, Robin Crudders, doesn't work at GW anymore. And then they hired that guy from Blizzard and Josh Roberts. You know what I mean? What's that guy's name? Kenny Heater, that's it. Previously, part of Blizzard. Senior designer manager responsible for the design, vision, and design of Warhammer 40,000 tabletop games. Yeah, previously, design department manager at WoW. Who started in March 2024, which was a year after 10th edition came out. Old or new Blizzard? Well, it was in 2023. Whatever happens to Stu Black? He's a product manager now. So he basically manages the sales of all the products. He doesn't... Yeah, Kenny worked at Blizzard. 2022 to 2023 for a year. For that Jam City. I don't know what Jam City is. I say it with Jam City, a top-ranking mobile puzzle game. Excellent. And then he worked on Cookie Jam Blast, associated with Jam City. Sequel running alongside the first Jam Cookie. I can't get over not using time to play the Death Round. Yeah, it's what odd game. Is that not an upgrade? What? Getting someone from WoW? How's 10th edition been, bud? Yeah, principal design manager now. Principal design manager and product development. He's been at Games Workshop for 28 years. That is crazy, dude. He literally came out of uni and has worked at Games Workshop ever since. He was lead design manager and now he's principal design manager. Whatever the fuck that means. It's okay for him. He just wasn't suited to be writing rules, basically. Sometimes you just become part of the wall fixtures. Yeah, truly. Truly. Anyway, let's do... Principal manager gets to tell Zach Morris what to do. Who's Zach Morris? And we've got missions. But I feel like missions is a little difficult to understand. Not a fan of Saved by the... I didn't watch Saved by the Bell. I didn't watch Saved by the Bell. 1989. Bros, that was 5 years before I was born. It ended before I was born. I did not watch Saved by the Bell. I'm too young for this. Yeah, as a 32-year-old man, I'm too young for Saved by the Bell. Unk in chat. Yeah, literally, what your unk showing? Put your walking stick down. Stop banging at the keyboard. 1987. The last one was just after. Well, okay, I was born then. I thought you said it ended in 1993. 1993. It was rerun in the UK for the entire 90s and early 2000s. On what? We didn't have enough for a TV. We didn't have enough for a TV in Yorkshire. We were striking with mines. We were shouting about Maggie Thatcher. I still shout about Margaret Thatcher. Thatcher's Britain every time, so it's well expensive. Every time I'm going to fill my car up and it's more than £1.60 a litre. Thatcher's Britain, mate. Thatcher's Britain. I have to all transfer to Varrock. He's like 50. You watch Varrock then. You do that. I remember Saved by the Bell, but even me, I was young when it was on UK TV. Let's have a look. When was it played? Saved by the Bell UK. When was it played in the UK? Doesn't say. Sweet. What's that? What channel was it on? Early 1990s. So if it was playing early 1990s, bear in mind I was born in 94. New cover rules favouring shooting armies. Thatcher's Britain. It's true. It's true. That's literally a fact. It was on Nickelodeon throughout the entirety of the 90s. Oh, don't say that. Mr. AI has said no. We all lived in Happy Meal box on motorway. Used to get clean slip roads with our tongues. Used to work 27 hours a day, 15 days a week. Us lot back up in Yorkshire, not like you southern lot. Whoa, you've got trains in London. Whoa, look at the lights. Look at the lights from that sign. Back home, we've just got graffiti. You can trust Google AI or something that regularly takes piss out of your stream. Well, someone famously like criticizes AI all the time. I'm going to believe it. And weren't we lucky? That's got soft. You've got soft hands. That's got soft hands. I work 32 hours a day at mine. So that's literally me editing, chat. 32 hours a day editing. Fucking trying to work in this weather and painting some stuff. There's some cool videos that are coming out over the weekend. Oh, it's been awful. It's been awful, bro. Been absolutely brutal. It's been not fun. Oh, sure, knows the 4 Yorkshiremen sketch, but pulls a blank on Saved by the Bell. I feel attacked. What do you mean, sketch? I am the Yorkshireman. That's literally me. It ain't no sketch. It's just me, bro. Also, did they redo it quite recently? The 25 hours in the middle of the street. I think they did. It's not comedy, it's real. It's literally me, bruv. That's literally how I work. Walking 20 miles a day uphill both ways. True. I hate painting when it's hot. The paint dries on the brush too fast. It really does. It's so annoying. I'm painting some random stuff to showcase something, and it's just been horrible. They've done multiple versions across their live shows. Live shows of life? What are you on about? Anyway, some of the bits, other bits and bobs. I don't know how you choose. The big thing I noticed on the GW stream, kind of like my last point, so I don't want to go over it too much because I can't really confirm because I don't know, is that obviously if you are playing like Take and Hold and you're playing against someone who's playing Purge the Foe, you play a certain mission, right? You both got your own unique primary. What I don't know, and that's something that we need confirmation of, is we've already seen in the lists from the ones from GW is that you can actually have multiple primary, or force disposition they call it. There's multiple force disposition, and then they will decide the terrain layout and the primary mission you're playing, but also control the primary mission your opponent's playing. When do you decide which one you're going to use that game? That's the question, you know? I think it's just like Kill Team, you pick which one you would play. Do you reveal it secretly? What have they got to, you know? Oops, excuse me. What was that? Was it anything important? No, it's a general chat of Outpost. They've said in the tournament you lock in disposition for the event, and in a casual game you pick one. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So you get the options for force disposition at list step. Interesting. Is it easy to score secondaries now? Yeah, the big change with secondaries is, one, they've changed all the secondaries. For example, the display of mites had a quite big change. You can use new orders, but you don't have to. You can basically hold on to the secondary. I think new orders is largely out of the window now. You can actually hold a secondary for as long as you want. And I don't think there's any maximum hand size. So it's like, oh, display of might. I don't want to score that right now. I'm going to keep it and then score it next turn, you know? Did you ever see 5 different missions max? Yeah. You can have, I assume, 10 secondaries. Yeah, you can see 10 at least if you just keep them all. It's going to be interesting for like late game scoring for like display of might and secure no man's land and engage on all fronts. That's going to be super interesting. We don't know what plunder is. No, Frantic Snail. It's the one we haven't seen. We haven't seen plunder. Plunder is an enigma. You keep all your secondaries, you don't score at the end of the turn, but you can only score a max of 15 primary and secondary per battle round. Oh, yeah, that's true. There's like a cap of how many secondary points you can score. We saw some mission said if you have X in your hand, reshuffle this back in. Oh, interesting. Maybe change cleanse. Yeah, I don't have a screenshot of cleanse. Do I have it in my notes? Let me double check my notes. Yo, what the? Holy shit, Frantic. What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god, thank you. Thank you for the 10 gifted, dude.
Gifted member.
Plunder! Plunder, truly. Dude, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. That's crazy. What a lead. That's so generous. Honestly, thank you so much, mate. Let me add you to our giveaway. So a little thank you. You get 10 entries. That's 11. Dude, thank you so much for all the gifted. That's really kind of you. If you've just been gifted membership, make sure you say a huge thank you. Make sure you join our Discord if you haven't already. You get free access for 30 days. Let's fucking go, dude.
Gifted member.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate. That's really, really kind. That's quite a lot of money, so thank you.
Gifted member.
One day we'll learn what plunder is. One day we'll learn what plunder means. Trying to look at
Gifted member.
extract relic. Action is center sweep done with the unit in range of one central objective. Hold it in your turn.
Gifted member.
So that's a primary. Locate and deny. That's a primary. Secondary. Gate door front says no 2 quarter scores. That's a secondary. Wasn't plundering one of the articles? I don't think so.
Gifted member.
Beacon. Pick a unit on the battlefield or in a transport to be your beacon unit. The your opponent's next turn at the end of the battle. You score 3 points if it's on the battlefield, not within your deployment zone, or 5 if it's not within your territory. So you can send it on their side of the board. So that's one of the new secondaries. Search and Scour is a primary. Vanguard Operation is a primary. Excuse me. Burden of Trust is a new secondary, but it's just the same primary, but as a card. Outflanks are fun. I like Outflank as one. That's fun. Thank you. Was it in the Orc one he was saying? The Orc faction focus. Wasn't that like 3 months ago? When was Orcs? You just scroll past Plunder. Was it on here? Was it on my notes? Plunder. Oh yeah, Plunder's an action on terrain, not with your territory. Brilliant. Fuck. Oh yeah, there it is. Plunder! Right, chat, we found it. 10 gifted from everybody. If a cleanse secondary is active, you can redraw 1 new secondary mission card and shuffle this deck card back into your secondary mission deck. Your shooting phase, 1 unit within terrain. It's just sabotage. Ah, it's just sabotage. It's sabotage, but you got to be outside of your territory, not deployment. So you'd have to be over this side, for example, rather than just doing it here. But it does complete immediately. Right, I think we've seen all the secondaries now. I think you could probably put a deck together. Plunder with the pirate theme, that's true. You can only play this if you're playing flash kits. Yeah. Plunder the plumbing. Cool. All right. Is game day cards updated yet? Why has he not been at it? Wait, is this right? This isn't the missions, is it? Is he updated? Let me find the website. Well, game data missions. Ah, it's 2025. Rubbish. This is the same guy. Could be. Get on it, lad. Where's me set? Where's me 11th edition ones? Where's me 11th edition? God. These are good, though. I use these on stream. They're really nice. I can do all this. That's good. I didn't know. I just literally use it as reference. Because Games Workshop never sent me any cards. So I've just never bought any. It is good, though. Game GD Missions.app. I imagine it'll update for 2026 soon. There was a grievous blow that was named on a score sheet, but I don't think I saw them show it. Oh, interesting. So we're almost there. We're almost there, then. That's pretty good. Oh, my curtain's out the window, chat. It's gone. Chat, I think that's everything today. Am I crazy? Am I missing something? Like I said, there's odd little bits and bobs, but I'm probably going to just make a video for it now. Hey, I think that's everything. Unless anyone else has added anything, let me just double check. I don't think anyone added anything to the latest video for any other screenshots. I think we've done a really good breakdown today. Came for the plunder, stayed for the plumbing. What's the plumbing? I'm lost on my own inside joke. What are you on about plumbing? I've missed a bit. Ah. That Sundez has been using larger buildings on GW layouts. I think that's quite good. See what I mean? Look at the difference there. That's such a different layout. Which is this hammer and anvil? And people pay for this teaching. Yeah, and I'm doing it for free. What's going on? You know? Should I do an 11th edition course chat and charge £9,000 but it's discounted to 20 quid? You know? Should I do a course? £9,000 discount for 20 quid. Yeah, that's good, Des. That's good, mate. If people want to show me stuff on stream ever, by the way, chat, I have two things. If you're just on the Discord, you can just go to latest video and post here. If I'm live, post it here. Or you can send me open on stream. And this is like if I'm offline and you want me to talk about a topic. So I've kind of talked about a lot of these already. I haven't looked at this Gundam Assemble one yet, though. But we got it ready. Lesson 1, lose first game, drop, go home. What are the odds that GD will release special tournament layouts and one of them is inverted, looks like a swastika? That would be not funny. So stand on the edge of terrain instead of stand on circles. Yeah, you're standing on the edge of terrain exclusively. You just need to pad another 3 hours until the faction focus drops. They were kind of fun, but it just got samey of just watching someone go, oh, they've got sustained, or they've got lethal, or they've got increased detection range by 3. You know, I just got bored of it. Which I think is fair enough. I think today's been fun there. It's been nice to break. It's been good for me as well to help break down stuff for you guys. Because one, it teaches you something, but two, it helps me understand it better as well for the future. For when I'm teaching other people or when I'm playing games on stream or whatever, which will be happening again very soon. I'm going to be bringing back the battle reports chat. I'm very excited for it. Probably with some new guests as well. %of designers trying to make your logo not look like penises or Nazi symbols. Yeah. You think it'd be easy. So, but anyway, chat. I think we're going to call it a day there. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed your little lessons. I've been live for nearly 3 hours, so I don't want to I want to drag out the stream and make another 4-hour stream again. But I think today's been good. I think we've gone through a lot. We've understood a lot. I feel like I know the new core rules a lot more. I can see some of the thought process behind it. I don't hate everything I see, you know. And maybe you don't either. It's just some things I'm a bit concerned about, especially with I think the terrain is the problem. The terrain and towing's the problem, I think. So, but I will be at UK Games Expo this weekend along with Mr. Lambo Paints, along with Georgie, along with Big C and Elliot. So if you haven't already, or if you didn't know even, then I will be there. As you can see, I have announced it. I did announce it. I will be there this weekend, all weekend personally. We've been plumbing the depths of 11th edition. So yes, if you're there, come and say hi. If you're a business, come chat to me. I've got some cool opportunities lined up, and maybe you're interested, or we can work something out. If you've got like a product or something, or a game you want to show off, then I'm your guy. I'm your guy to come talk to. So that's it, I think. That's it. So thanks so much for watching. I will be back on Friday from UK Games Expo. That's the plan. I'm planning on going live Friday afternoon from the UK Games Expo. Will Elliot's dad be there? He could be. You'll have to come see. So I'm going to try and stream from Expo on Friday. It'll be earlier than my normal Friday stream, but I'll be live from the event showing it off and seeing what's happening. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Thanks to the members. Again, appreciate you. If you haven't already, support the channel with a become a member. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you next time. See you Friday. Appreciate you guys. Oh, and I've got shorts dropping from tomorrow all weekend. I should say that as well. It's going to be popping. Some new cool shit. Some new cool shit that I can't tell you until tomorrow, but I'll see you tomorrow. Don't